Hi everyone, this is Yulianna Avdeeva here. Long time no see, I'm very happy to greet you tonight with my great colleague and dear friend Julia Fischer. Hi Julia.
Hello, thank you for having me.
No, it's a great fun that we're going on tour
Mhm.
this week and we will be performing in many different venues in Germany, in Switzerland, Italy, France and UK. So please find the date in the description below. And yeah, which time are we going on tour together this time? You remember? I don't know.
Well, on Saturday is the first concert.
That's right.
Yeah, in Bolzano actually. So we start in Italy and then we go to Lyon on Monday. It's already
right.
Lyon.
Yes.
And then we in Germany and then we go to Switzerland and then in the end it's Germany again.
Right. So if you are around, we will be very happy if you will join us on some of our concerts. So this time we will present a very interesting program, I think.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's great that we have the Enescu Sonata, the second sonata, in the program. He wrote 3 sonatas and the third sonata is usually played. I have never seen the first in program actually. And the second one, I haven't seen it program except for my own either. So
Did you play the number 3 and number 1? Or
no. I never played number 1. I never played number 3. This is the first.
first number 2.
Number 2.
Right. Well, but basically somehow Enescu, for me it's also the first piece by Enescu I have ever played.
Okay. No, it started with my student taking part in the Yehudi Menuhin competition in 2016, I think. And there they had to play a piece by Enescu, which was the Impromptu Concertant. That was actually the first time that I saw a score of Enescu. And I was so taken by the piece that from that moment on I looked for all the repertory that there is for violin.
Lucky you, because Enescu was indeed a very apparently brilliant man. He played both violin and pianos as you are.
Yeah, and he was actually my my teacher Anna Tomatenko is a student of Yehudi Menuhin, and Menuhin was a student of Enescu. So there's also this line that I heard, for example, the Bach sonatas and partitas for violin in the recording of Enescu when I was a very small child already. So Enescu was in my head for a long time, but not as a composer, more than for a violinist.
Pianist
and pianist. I know there's a recording of the second sonata where there are 2 recordings. Once where he plays piano and once where he plays.
Yeah.
Violin.
So apparently the second sonata was premiered in 1900, and the soloist, the violin soloist was Jacques Thibault, and the piano soloist was Georges Enescu. So apparently he and this piano part is really tough.
It's very difficult. I
So,
tried to read it and I gave up, actually.
Come on.
No, that was, I just thought it's not worth it. You know, if it's a sonata that I can learn on the level that I can accompany my students, then okay. But I would have to take so many hours to learn it that I'm happy that you're doing that.
Well, I did indeed invest some time in this sonata because it's, it's, yeah, I have to do that. And but it's a great piece. So it consists of 3 movements. Enescu was very young by then as he composed the sonata, but already there is, I think, this also influence of this folk music is already quite strong there. I mean,
I think he was always a very Romanian person. He couldn't leave his roots. I mean, he came to Paris and to France and lived there for a long time, but you can always tell that there's this Romanian and rhapsodic part and yeah, for example, I think in the second movement, the first theme is so typical East European and maybe even a little gypsy-like, but like, you know, singing to yourself a very sad song. You can always tell it's a Romanian folk music there.
right. Well, that's, I think also what is very specific about this sonata is a kind of obsession with one singular theme or motive, right? And that
Yes.
he develops it, and so because we have found it also in every single movement.
Yes.
There is this one main motif or theme which Enescu uses, and it also somehow it appears in so different characters. It's like basically for me the sonata is so full of wonderful colors, sounds also harmonically. It's very progressive for my taste, very progressive. It's really the modulations are very unexpected. They come so unexpected sometimes. Also, our favorite dissonance, the the B flat. So it's very interesting piece.
Well, I think that there are very few sonatas where the range of emotions is so wide, because the first movement starts so depressing and so soft and so you would think we can try it immediately and very dramatic. So it's the first time that he actually introduces the subject, the theme, and it's very soft, it's pianissimo, and it's very very dark. It's very scary, like in a horror movie. It's like you're opening the door and you don't know if you're going to die or not.
This is the big, and actually also the amount of the modulations already. So we start in F minor, then we immediately move to E minor.
Yes, actually, we should show that to the audience, because how many, how do you call that in English? The sharps and flats?
Yeah.
Sharps and flats. And there are in the music, I hope you can see that actually. Before every note, there's so much to see. And the piano part, that's even, that's nice, no? Look at that, what Yulianna has to read. It's really, so before every note you have multiple sharps and flats and everything.
Yeah, it took me a while to discover what harmonies are there. Sometimes it's easier to follow the ear rather than read. But so this is actually this very mysterious, also kind of
exactly
kind of beginning, and then we have wonderful, more lyrical, but also still it's breathing so much, because the music is breathing, because also maybe we can show from
yes, we can.
A little bit of this other theme. So it's again a kind of great contrast, right? So it's and even if it starts in a kind of quiet manner, then it's always
I think he must have been a very passionate person.
Yeah,
his music
like
is
that.
so passionate, and
Yes.
he never is like, even in the melancholical passages, he gets passionate immediately again.
Yes, that's right.
So he can't conceal it for a very long time.
Yes, and of course the second movement it's called Tranquillement, and it's as you were mentioning before, it's a kind of storytelling.
Yeah, it's a
right?
story, like somebody sitting at the fire, and the guitar is accompanying your accompaniment at the beginning. It's very.
sad music, right?
It is very sad. Yeah, that's what I meant, because we will come to the third movement, and the third movement is so happy. And I think it's very interesting that the first movement is so dramatic, the second is so sad, and the third is really funny.
Yes, but also in the second movement there are some moments of light, right? Maybe like a memory of something what happened in the past. I don't know, this major.
The major part, yeah, but still,
part.
I mean, he writes "Expressif avec un sentiment intime." I think it's still just he just remembers that there were good times. It's not we are in good times. It's just a remembrance of it.
Yeah, but still they exist. For me personally, this ending of the movement is indeed the most exciting, because somehow it ends in this. Well, first of all,
it starts with the second movement theme, and then it develops into the first movement theme. I think that's absolutely ingenious. That we can play that maybe from here.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I forgot my sordino. I have to do that with a sordino. Sorry.
Well, this is amazing, because as we were saying, that in the beginning is this.
They're looking for the right key or for the right notes, like
Exactly,
searching.
and then suddenly we
are back to but not in the same key.
No.
It's very interesting that he didn't go to back to F minor. He didn't write it in the same key. It's very interesting.
Yeah, but somehow it's really, the sonata is full of surprises, I would say.
Absolutely.
And the last movement is of course a great contrast, and it's I don't know, I feel like a dance or something that is.
I think it's like a train ride. You're on a train. It's like you're looking outside and you're imagine 1900. It's this speed of travel was completely new, and they're in the middle section where you are continuously always having this rhythm. It's like on a train ride, absolutely.
Well, at least I hope that we'll be sitting on the right train.
Let's try.
Let's
play a little bit. Returning to the first movement, it's absolutely ingenious.
In this augmentation, because there's
Yeah, like in half tempo.
Yes,
no, even
more,
not
I think.
even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then I play it very fast later on.
Yeah, but this somehow reminds me also when you score a staccato, especially ta 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 ta. No?
Yeah, absolutely.
When we play a little bit in the major, when the same theme comes in major, yes.
Hang on, I'm not yet there.
Oh.
Now I'm here. Okay.
Yeah, so this is again a new phase of this first theme again.
Yeah.
This creativity is indeed really somehow very, very fascinating.
But I think that shows a great composer. For me, a great composer is not the one who puts the most motifs into one piece, but who's capable of taking one motif and showing it from different angles and from different perspectives and in different moods and in different colors. I think that shows if a composer really knows how to show something.
Absolutely. No, and of course this sense of humor somehow which somehow also exists in this movement.
Yeah.
It's really also the ending because it's
the very end. Mm-hmm.
Yes, because it's again this we're finishing this sonata with the same thing but in major and in a very for me it's very I don't know funny. So it comes from nothing and it goes again back to nothing. Yes.
Exactly.
But it's an amazing piece and I'm very happy that we will be performing it during our tour, yes, which will start on Saturday. Thank you so much for some very inspiring thoughts on chamber music. Basically, actually, what is your I know that you're a passionate, basically chamber music player, right? You have also quartet, a string quartet, and what is for you the let's say not the challenge in a positive sense? What is the what is so special about playing chamber music for you comparing with orchestra?
Actually, for me, the difference between chamber music and orchestra playing is not so big. The biggest, it's also chamber music. Solo playing is completely different, of course. But as a violinist, I don't have that much of it. You know, I can play the 6 sonatas by Bach, by Isai, the 24 by Paganini, and that's it, more or less. I know there's Bartok and Prokofiev, and Hindemith, but in the end, it's like 2% of my musical life that I'm standing alone on stage.
How does it feel like for you?
Playing alone.
Yes.
Yeah, first there's always a little bit of panic that I will be alone on stage. But the fun part is that once I am on stage, I think it's absolutely amazing. It's great. Nobody telling me what to do. I suddenly feel so free. So that because nobody is else, I don't have to take care of anyone else.
No,
so it is. It is very.
But you're also responsible for everything, right? And you cannot blame
someone
else.
I'm trying to not think about that too much. But the chamber music part, for me, making music or playing music, or the reason why I became a musician actually in the first place, is because I love communication in music. I think the most wonderful thing in music is to give and take, to give a subject to you and you return it to me, and to react to how you play, and to act to make you do something different. And this is actually the most inspiring work for me. And that remains with a quartet or recitals or with orchestras. I mean, not with all the musicians you meet, but usually, or in the best sense, you don't necessarily have to act all the time. You can also react. You can also take something from the other people who are on stage with you and learn from that and being inspired by that. And that's actually what I like most about the musical life.
Yeah, I have a very beautiful sentence from Sabine, who wrote that sometimes it's difficult to find the words to express a musical idea to defend my ideas. So it helps me to be more clear and consistent. So I think for me personally, chamber music is also, of course, some things you discuss, but some things you just feel. And that's, I think, also a question of how you rehearse. I mean, how much you rehearse. How
Well, there are first rehearsals where you have to ask yourself if it's worth rehearsing, because if you're too far apart and if the general idea of the piece is completely different, and of course being professional means that we still have to bring it on stage, but you will never arrive to something which matches together. And I think that, for example, when we rehearse, the questions we are having are the questions which you also have alone, right? It's something. Yeah, you play something, and then you think we could do it that way, or you could do it that way, and that's what you discuss with me. But it's not necessarily that I think differently completely, and I have to make you play something that you don't want to. I hope.
No. I mean, I don't remember, because we have played several recital programs, and I don't remember some kind of discussions where I was saying that's black and you will say no, that's white.
Yeah, exactly, and we never had that. But because probably that's just you have to find the people you want to work with, right? So I mean, there are also pianists I play with once, and it's absolutely clear that we should not be making music together. There are also conductors where I know that I don't want to play with them again, but I'm pretty sure that they don't want to play with me either, because we just have completely different ideas of making music, or from a composer or a piece, or
but that's okay. I think that's okay.
It is absolutely okay.
It's like with people. I mean, with some people, you can get somehow on a certain level, emotional level, very easily, and with others you say.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's basically the same thing. Hazel asked an interesting question. What do you think? What do you find are the main challenges of performance chamber music, such as Mozart sonatas in larger concert halls? Do you have to alter your performances accordingly to suit the venue and audience size, and which do you prefer?
By now, I would say that's happening subconsciously. I'm not doing that consciously anymore. I mean, you have a big piano when you play Mozart, which he didn't have. But that doesn't mean necessarily that you are going to use it in the sense that Rachmaninoff used it. You know how to use it so that Mozart sounds in the style that you think Mozart would like to have had it heard, right? So I have, for example, a classic bow, which I like to use. Maybe I'm not going to use it in the big halls. Maybe then I think I need the other bow, so I can change. But in the end, I enter a hall, and I see the hall, and then when I start playing, I just look how big the hall is, and that's how I'm going to play. It's something that happens automatically by now.
Yes, and of course some halls we know well already. Some in the new halls, I have to share a very personal experience during Corona, during the pandemic, because I was mostly playing, as many of you know, at my apartment, in my living room. And the first time, after a couple of times, I went on stage on big concert halls this summer. In the beginning, the hearing was different.
Of course.
Because somehow this feeling of space, this feeling of sound reflection, how long does it take for the sound to come back to me so that I can really judge what kind of sound it is in the hall, was gone.
Yeah, usually you play faster at home too. Because at home you have the notes doesn't have to go somewhere and return back. So I always find myself playing faster at home automatically, and then I enter a big hall, and if there's a lot of acoustics, for example, then I immediately drop the tempo. But I'm not doing that like this is a big hall, I have to play slower. But I'm entering the hall and it's just happening.
Exactly. I shared this feeling too. One more question for Brigitte. Very good chamber music concerts happen very rare. Why?
I think because people don't want to rehearse. In the end, I know that we have been saying that you have to start on a certain level, but that doesn't mean that you start on this level and you're not going to work, right? You still have to work a lot. And I find that some people, maybe we can share that also with your audience. The first time we read the Enescu already in February, that was in big lockdown when only 2 people were allowed to meet, and so we met.
We were these 2 people.
We were those 2 people and playing with masks and everything, but still we were reading through the music, and wanted to get it to know, and the Mozart too. We read the Mozart as well.
And we read also many other things, which
Yes,
we'll,
of course.
which we'll keep secret now.
Yes.
But however, yes.
For the next program, and now it's beginning of November, but we have met now what's like 6-7 times during the past 2 months, and usually that doesn't happen. Usually you meet the day before the concert, you make a big rehearsal, and then you play the next day, and you can never achieve in one day rehearsal.
No.
This understanding between, because it's also it's a matter, for example, from technique. How long does it take you from moving your hands until the sound comes? And how long does it take me to produce the sound? And that's different with every violinist and different with every pianist. And you have to get to know to that. So and I have to say I like rehearsing. I'm a huge fan of rehearsing. I like rehearsing. So.
Of course, that's the actually very important part.
Yeah.
Which is,
So I enjoy that. I think it's great that when you take the time to read already 2 months before, even if we haven't practiced it yet, so that we are just sight reading, but just to get an idea and general, like the architecture of how big.
Yes, especially of the piece, which is, for me, it was, I said that already, it was an absolutely new piece. It was not in my ear, and this language was a kind of new for me. And no, I'm very happy that we had some time also in between our first rehearsal, so it's but that's will be a wonderful tour. So we will be performing the Mozart E flat major 481.
Thank you.
Right.
I wouldn't have known the number. And sometimes we do Brahms' first sonata, and sometimes we do Schumann sonata.
Yes,
the first one as well.
So please join us at some of the concerts, which you will find. The dates you will find below in the description. And Julia, thank you so much for your time. It was fun talking to you and fun playing with you. And
likewise, I'm looking forward to the tour.
See you on stage.
See you on stage.